This video is highlights from both days of my recent camping trip. I didn't manage to leave as early in the day as I had hoped, and the last couple of hours of the drive were really slow going. It's never a good idea to drive these roads at night, and there was a couple of moments of unexpected excitement.
Wow, a massive stag just ran out right in front of me. I thought we were crashing. Jeez man, I never had the camera on just for saving battery because we're going to be away for so long, but oh my god, my heart is going crazy. That was insane. An absolute huge stag. I literally missed him by a foot, if that. Like, I thought, oh man, I thought that was a trip over already. Jeez man, it's taking a wee minute to let the heart rate come back down. That was crazy. I had to slam the brakes on there and Lana just about ended up in the front with me, so I've given her a wee bone as a wee treat just to apologise for almost sending her through the windshield. After that scare, I really slowed down, and it was just as well because there were so many more deer on the road and on the roadside. Luckily, only one more decided to run out right in front of me. Fucking hell! Crazy deer, man. Lucky I'm only going 20. There was a few more sheep as well, but at least they're easy to spot. It got too late to make it to the camping spot, so the first night was just spent in the car. I was surprised how good a sleep I got, and I was actually only woken up when a cow bumped into the car. I didn't get the camera on in time to catch the main herd, but this straggler wanted to put on a little show. So I got back in the car and done the last part of the drive up to the spot that I wanted to camp for the next couple of nights. I used to come up to this area quite a lot in the past, so I knew that this was a good area for fishing and that I should be able to find somewhere to put up my tent that was relatively flat. After setting up the tent and carrying over all my firewood and food and things for the couple of days, I set my lobster pot in the hopes that I might be able to get a big crab or lobster for dinner. Oh, got all set up, got the lobster pot in, and just getting some breakfast on before we start fishing. It's supposed to get really sunny later, so. I had 3 rods with me for sea fishing. The first of which I had a big fish bait on, but I didn't really have any luck on this rod. But it was worth having it out just in case. On my main rod, I was fishing with ragworm as bait, in the hopes of picking up some wrasse. When I was up here about 15 years ago with my dad, he caught an absolute cracking wrasse just round the corner from here, and he also caught a nice sea trout from this exact spot. Today I was targeting pollock, but I was also hoping that I might be able to catch some mackerel to cook on the fire. I didn't manage to, and it might have just been a little bit early in the year. We did catch plenty of pollock and wrasse though, and if you want to see the full day of fishing, I'll put a link to that video in the video description. Just had a really good bite on this. Superb! Nice orange colour. Away he goes into the kelp. Superb! We've only been fishing for about half an hour. We've caught a nice wee pollock and that nice wee wrasse. Hopefully get a couple of big ones now. Just seen a dolphin out there. Hopefully it comes back up and it's close enough to see. There it is again. I hope that's close enough that you can see it. Another wee wrasse. He's trying to spit the hook and I don't really want to steal his food, but I really want to see what he's been eating. These look like the legs of a squat lobster, and I actually managed to catch a squat lobster on my last sea fishing trip. This is a clip from that video, and I'll link this in the description as well. A little bit bigger. Well, that's the prettiest one yet. Nice colours on him. Another little one. It's a bit of a fighter though. Nice wee fish that. Are you quite happy sitting there, Lana? Eh? Yes, yeah, look at your wee tail going. She's a good girl. This was a really good sized pollock, and I've been losing quite a lot of fish in the kelp beds, and I thought this one had managed to get me stuck as well, so I was delighted when I realised I still had it. No way, man. Oh, I've still got him. Yes! Oh. It's like you can sense the water and kick. The fishing really slowed down in the evening, and I hadn't really caught a fish for a couple of hours, but eventually my perseverance paid off. Absolutely smashed on the drop. I really hope I land this fish. It feels the best of the day. Yes! Absolute cracker. Superb, man! This fish was a really great way to end the day, and I still had a chance of a big crab or lobster in the pot for dinner, so I headed along to check that. One little crab. I think it's a tiny little edible crab. Just need one about 5 times bigger. I put some fresh bait in, threw it back out, and I was going to check it again in the morning. I kept the big bait rod out just in case we could catch a monster, but we didn't have any luck, and I wanted to get quite an early night because we had a really big day tomorrow, climbing the hills. Two little crabs this time. It was two velvet swimming crabs this time. This first one is a female. You can tell with the triangle section on the bottom being really wide, and they also have smaller pincers. And this next one is a male. You can tell because the triangle section on the bottom is really narrow, and his claws are also much bigger as well. Just got one rod in this morning. Just getting a fire, going to cook some breakfast, and then we're going away over here that you can't see, up the hills to fish one of the lochs. Cook some sausage first though. After breakfast, we headed over to the car, and it was about an hour's drive to the start of the walk. The first part of the walk was fairly gentle, and it led us into some really nice oak woodland. It was starting to get really hot, so coming through the trees it was nice and cool, and it was a real treat getting out of the heat. Oh, downhill and shade. Spoiling me. There was some really cool, unique trees on the walk. There was two of them really close together here. We were out of the forest now and getting close to where we would have to cross the river. Been a landslide. That might be the burn that comes out of the loch we're going to, I'm not sure. It looks about the right angle. Come on, pal, you need to go. I didn't really think this out, and I was lucky that the river was really low and there hadn't been much rain lately, or I might have had to get wet and carry the dog over.
Oh, good girl.
We were onto the steepest part of the climb now, and this is one of those hills that has loads of false summits, so you think you're at the top and then you see you're not, repeatedly.
That's false summit number 1. Oh. And that's not the top either. This must be a deer trail or something. Come on. Good girl. It is.
Thankfully, there was a lot more of a breeze up in the hills, and we had also got some cloud cover as well, and that always helps when you're fly fishing. Well, we finally made it. I catch a lot more fish than I show in this video, and if you want to see the whole day fishing up here, I'll put a link to that video in the description. I started off using traditional wet flies, but after a while I changed over to using dry flies and had a lot more success. I also moved round to the other side of the loch, where I had had a lot of success in the past. And it was really the past, because I hadn't been up here for 15 years. I forgot to say, I also show all the flies that I used in the other video as well. I was casting at rising fish, and the first fish I caught really caught me by surprise, because I was just bringing my flies back in to make another cast when it took.
took that on the retrieve. Wasn't expecting it and I almost lost it. Letting the line go slack. I'll just get this unhooked and give you a better look. Such a pretty fish. Look at the spots on it. Hopefully he cooperates here with underwater.
Rise to my left there.
Yes, I was just covering that rising fish there. Smashed it right away. I think it's actually took the wet fly though. Look at the colour of that fish. There he goes. I think this is a smaller fish than the ones I was missing.
Another bar of gold.
I'm going to definitely be back later in the year and try and catch that monster. Back over the wee burn now. We could just follow that down, but it didn't look great for crossing. That's where that landslide was. It didn't look like the easiest spot, so stick to this side and hopefully find somewhere.
Okay, pal.
this way. Good girl, well done. Oh, civilization. Back at the cool trees. Way down there. Heading back to camp now. Got one rod in just now. Just going to get food and stuff organised and get the other rods out. But might as well have at least one rod out while I'm here, so there it is.
I had another go at trying to catch some mackerel, but again I didn't have any luck, which was surprising because it's been such a warm spring. I thought the mackerel would be up this far by now. No mackerel for dinner, so I headed along to check the pot again and see if we could get a big crab or a lobster for dinner. The pot looked a bit bent out of shape, so I think it might have landed either at a strange angle or in a crevice, and it came up empty this time.
Is it time to cook some sausages? Oh, I think it is. That wee tail tells me it's dinner time.
We had to wait on the fire dying down a bit to cook, so I went to check the bait on the rod and had a nice surprise. It's not the kind of fish that I was hoping to catch, but it's always nice to have a wee surprise, and it's nice to see some nature that you weren't expecting.
beauty. What a way to end the day. Wish I had more light to show them off. What a colour. Almost as pretty as those trout earlier. There he goes.
I spent a little bit of time just relaxing in the morning sun before packing up and heading up the road. I really didn't want to leave. I went to check the pot for the last time as well, and because we were leaving, anything I was going to catch here I was just going to put back, but it was just for fun really. But it came up empty again.
Time to go, pal.
I think Lana would have been happy to stay as well, but we had to get up the road. So I took the last of the gear up to the car and started the long drive home. This is the very same stretch of road that I just missed the first deer on the drive up.
Was it you that jumped out in front of me? Eh? Nah, I think he was bigger.
I stopped for a wee break from driving at the halfway point at Glencoe.
Did you get it? Good getter. I would fish, but I'm a wee bit sunburnt and it is so hot and so sunny that I don't think it'd be much good. I had to just come and have a wee look, just in case there was a bunch of rising fish.
There is a lot of small trout in the lochs in Glencoe, but I couldn't see any today, and I just decided to go down the road. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and just a reminder that there's 2 other videos from this trip linked in the description below. Cheers.